Time for another Art Fair 101. Today I'm going to be talking about applying to art fairs and all that entails. Before you sit down to apply to an art fair, you're going to need to have a couple things handy. First of all, you're going to need to have photographs of your artwork. The way you go about doing that's going to vary wildly depending on what your artwork is, what medium you use. You're also going to need to have a photograph of your booth setup. That can be kind of difficult if you've never done an art fair before, right? I would recommend either, setting up your booth, doing a dry run in your yard. That's a good idea anyway. Or if you don't have a yard, do it in a friend's yard. It's definitely a privilege though. Not everyone has access to something like that. I certainly didn't when I first started doing art shows, and I had to ask the art show I was applying for if they could make an exception for me because it was my first ever show. Thankfully, they did. But that can be a bit tricky. You're also going to need to have an artist statement. They're usually between 100 words long, and some shows have no limit, but they basically want to know what you make, how you make it, and why, in short and sweet as possible. Now, when you do apply to art shows, most of them have application fees. Those can range between $5 and $50. I've seen a couple that are a little bit more than that, but that's not normal. Now, application fees can be really annoying, but they're there for a reason. They're basically trying to make sure people don't troll them with entries. And I've helped jury a few shows that didn't have application fees and a few that did. And there's a difference. It's for ease of use. And of course, the shows do need to make money. Now, there are a couple different websites I use when I'm applying to art fairs. Artfaircalendar.com's a good one to find them. I don't think you actually apply on there. I could be wrong. I don't use it that much. There's also Art Cafe. And then my favorite is Application. So once you put all that info into one of these websites to apply, it usually takes anywhere between a few weeks to a few months to get your results back for yay or nay. Now, might that seem like a long time? That might seem like a long time. But honestly, I've been applying for art fairs from January till now for fairs. It'll be from May till Christmas. So there's quite a lead time on that. Now, once you find out you're in an art fair, you do need to pay for your booth fee. Booth fees can be anywhere from like $120 on the lower end to I'm going to a show at the end of the month that cost me nearly $2,000. And you really want to do your homework to make sure the shows that you're applying for are worth the money they cost. Some shows are really cheap because they're really new and you might not have a good time there. You might not get a lot of foot traffic, but if they're cheaper, then why not? And then some shows are more expensive because they've been around for 50 years and are very good and very well run and have the metal to cost that much. And some shows like to charge as much as the shows that have been around for 50 years, but they're brand new and you want to look out for those. But yeah, that is applying to art shows in a nutshell.